good is this gonna be tonight? So let's I'll throw the gate on it. Let me see. Throw a regular gate and not touch nothing outside of that. All right. Number one was happening. Welcome to episode 14 of the Super GenWorld podcast. I believe that's where we at currently. Testing the gate, don't know what it sounds like. Let me see what this is, make sure if I need to cut it or not. Yeah, this is fine. I just gotta keep my voice up and it'll be fine. But yeah, this is theoretically episode 2 of season 2, but I did episode 13, which was a review for Resident Evil Village, or 8, whatever you want to call it. And theoretically, that was episode 1 of season 2. But after I released that episode, basically what I'm about to update now with my life and how things have been going since that last episode, because that was more of just like a straight up review of what I was playing and messing with, instead of being an actual podcast episode. So I am going to put that on the DSPs, but I wanted to wait until this so I can drop the official season 2 of the podcast. Didn't tell nobody I was going to be doing anything of this sort until now, but welcome to the redesign. We got a new full basic makeover for the mainstreams, where this should be on Twitch and Facebook now. YouTube, I'm going to be uploading probably just like back end stuff, but not too much live streaming on YouTube because too many variables, especially just at once. I want to make sure that there is enough chance to be able to be more creatively sound on there, because I feel like the live streams can go any which way real fast, especially if I'm playing some random music. They like coming out of nowhere. I can't even play my own personal music. I got copywritten and legit on Facebook. So it's like outside of certain video game songs and actual legit music that will be in the background for these things that's permitted and allowed, I ain't gonna be playing with these boys too much longer. They've been swinging them DMCA hammers like, so I've been having to get out the way. But nothing too bad in that front. Just had to step back, reassess, reconfigure, so I can come back in and attack this with body blows. And as of right now, on Facebook, numbers are looking good for the GenWorld gaming page. Going to keep that tailored towards games, how I am now. But this podcast should be on there as well. But that's just more for visibility's sake. I'm going to be transitioning that probably to my main personal page with the podcast. But the actual Twitch is going to house everything. You're going to have the gaming, real life shit, the conversation with the homies. The most important thing I want to expound upon is the game development that I'm diving head first in. My Patreon is live, and I will go ahead and actually transition to that screen real fast because I think it looks dope. But yeah, Patreon. Got the Patreon set up. The tiers, I got 3. Starting September 1st, there's going to be a 4th tier. That one's going to be, I'm trying to balance between 15 and 20 bucks. But after these, the bigger Gen Dev class, I only got 2 more slots, I believe, on that. And then that one is going to go away, and then it's going to go up to 15 bucks. So everyone that's on that level right now, we're going to be getting some 3D models made of them. Try to customize and make them look how they want them to look. So they'll actually get a full mix down of their model. they're going to get put in the game if they want to as NPCs or quest givers or possibly like a shopkeeper, however they want, and then we'll be talking from here and there. But I'm going to be doing the same thing with that class, but making it more just personal, so like I can just make you a 3D model in a sense, and we go from there. But based in how I'm actually creating the game, all of this is getting pushed back into the time and the actual hands-on work that I'm doing to develop the game. I'm doing everything in Unity. I got Blender as well. Figured out C# scripting. Took a few classes. I just said, fuck it, I'm getting my feet wet, and figured out everything I needed to get there. But to make a long story short, I got 3 games in the pipeline that I have spoke about in my actual developer updates. I do them weekly. This episode of this podcast, I'm going to go ahead and just do the update within this podcast. So this is just going to be an all-encompassing episode. Let's talk about what happened within the past week. So starting off there, I have gotten, I think I said last time and showed how I got my PlayStation 1 filter, N64 like textures. Actually earlier today, which is the 23rd of August, I have now figured out how to get actual buildings and everything to render correctly. And it is all set up in a sense like, if you think about Tomb Raider, whenever you're walking around walls and any kind of textures, they kind of follow you. The textures will like kind of like morph and stretch around you, and it looks weird as fuck. It looks really weird, but for an aesthetic, trying to bring that to newer games and just how that can work as a rendering technique, I think we basically have figured out something really cool here. And let me bring this over here, because I'm just going to put it on my background. Yeah, that can work perfectly. That can sit there, and you over here. Boom. Trying to do. Okay. Yeah, we're looking good. But yeah, and when it comes to how this entire game is going to be represented graphic-wise, now it's nowhere near perfect, nowhere near playable in my personal opinion. But the way that I have everything rendered to clouds in the sky and certain textures outside of that is getting to where it's starting to peek through, like what I'm dealing with up here in my design process is starting to peek through. But we got the animations for the model, even though everything does look wild primitive, it's all full 3D. And to see this in a perfect way, now if you're listening to this podcast, you obviously won't be able to physically see none of this. So head over to the twitch.tv/GenWorldTV or patreon.com/GenWorldTV. Everywhere GenWorldTV, you'll be able to actually visualize what I'm talking about here. But outside of that, just to show what I'm talking about, so we got a full global volume, and you see how certain things just look absolutely wild in reality. But I have a full shader over this, and this shader allows me to do things like far away. These buildings, they just won't render, and I got all kinds of wild things in here. So I'm messing with gravity, so I have gravity kind of turned off right now, so the character will struggle to hit the ground. But it's all testing. I'm testing a bunch of really crazy things right now, and I really want weapons to play a part in it. So I got weapons implemented, I got movement implemented, we do got combat implemented. But the main update for this is what I was talking about, the PlayStation 1 style textures for rendering buildings. So as you see, as I get closer, the graphics kind of squash and move around. even though the actual physical structure itself isn't moving. And this is something that we can use for backgrounds in future games. So now that I'm just trying to get the render pipeline working, but since we're working with high frame rates and not actual technical limitations, it's kind of hard for it to be accurate of the original time. Now I can limit the frame rate of the game to, I believe it was 23 frames. Normally that games would run on the PlayStation 1 if it was 3D, so it would never hit a smooth 30 unless it was fighting games. They would hit 60 most of the time, but we're dealing with 3D games. You're not going to be surpassing 21, 23 frames per second in a normal, any kind of normal situation. You're not going to be hitting them frame rates. So here, using this pipeline, high frame rates have yielded a really wild, like very graphic sliding thing for a lot of the textures. And this is so far just on solid buildings. And I got other options because I don't have it set for each individual building. So I gotta go through and manually do each one. And that's no problem. We got a big sky. I got a skybox I gotta finish animating. I gotta animate the clouds in, and I also gotta make it to where this grass doesn't like cut the camera off when we look up. But all of that will come in due time. We'll worry about the actual mechanics later, but we're just doing world building stuff. Yeah, we got full sound effects on everything too, so we already have something that I can visualize and show. Got reloading mechanics built in. Got legit FPS modes to fine-tune aim in certain situations. Yes, Lord. And when we do have a semblance of combat. Looks nothing how it's going to look soon, but I got double jumps to implement. We got wall scaling and wall running to implement next. And this is just within this game. The two other games are more focused on, there's going to be 2D and there's going to be an older school style, like Project Justice style fighting game. And those two are going to be just their own projects in due time. And yeah, when it comes to game dev, that's what I've been working on the past week. Got what I needed to get done this week, and yeah, we got updates coming along for that to the Patreon. And aside from that, the models I'm going to be making are going to be a decision between making them raw in Blender, which is just going to activate my artist gene, so I'm gonna decide how I'm gonna go about that, or I'm going to be leaning more towards using Ready Player Me avatars, and I can customize those in Blender and just outfit them however I see fit. And I got options with it, so I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna go, but I may just do them raw in Blender and then do a mix of Ready Player Me avatars because they're already fully built meshes and it's simple to use. It might speed up the process, but either way, I'm gonna talk with my patrons, see how they want to work it, and then we're gonna start showing those to the world in that process as well. But yeah, I think that's gonna cut it there for the development side of what I wanted to talk about here. Moving on next to personal stuff that's been going on. Me and my wife have moved into our own place, so I'm currently in a new spot. I got my own office area now, so that's why I'm able to been able to work a little bit more. So I've been basically just in the background, just going live and showing the scales of what I've been working on. The symbolism for the colors you might see me changing in right now is 100% based off the Chaos Emeralds. I feel like Knuckles going hyper right now. man, I'm in just a heavy inspired work mode with a very huge workload, and God be in my ear whispering saying work mode. So it's super cool. And I can use the word glow. That's what I got on my mind and my work. So I gotta stop rhyming. But when it comes to this entire new makeup and new life situation that we've dived into, a lot of risk being taken on my part solely. Trying to start some work from home stuff up, getting to run around with that every day, balancing the funding for few projects at once. And yeah, I'm about to just try to like kick a whole bunch of stuff off in a really small amount of time, but focusing on number one, me personally, want to get back into working more professionally with folks, especially in the new COVID era, and how everybody is kind of acting has been throwing me off. But professional wise, I feel like my blade has never been sharper than it is right now. So with that being said, I'm studying on hopefully I'm going to be kicking back off doing Security Plus and Network Plus. That's the two certs I want to get before the year is over, hopefully this time. And I've already taken the Security Plus twice, and I failed them bitches. But them bitches, that shit was hard as hell. And I threw my hat in the ring, and I got one more voucher left. So I'm taking my time. It's not expiring for like another 2 years. And I'm like, okay. Study and don't let it fucking kick your ass. Don't let it kick your ass. I suck with tests. I'm more of just like a hands-on. I can get shit done, but tests are not my forte. I suck at them. They stress me out, and then I freak out at the last moment. Even though I know how to take a test adequately, as soon as I get there, it's like, yo, you think you know that? I'm your brain. Fuck you. And then it just fights back. But it's also been a year and a half since I last attempted. So my confidence has gone up like tenfold since then. I've done my hands on so many projects and actual real life applications and builds since then, and my studying habits have improved since then. I've actually learned and gotten a certificate for C# coding, and seeing that is kind of like, yeah, no, you're capable of doing this shit. So it's not like you're not capable. And that's just me talking to myself on that sense. But it's gonna just take a little bit of dedication on my part, which is 100% doable. You just gotta do the shit. And aside from that, that's where the professional situation is lying for me now. Yeah, I gotta get some things drawn out when it comes to small business stuff, because this is real. Like, no longer is it just a hobby in a sense. This is what the workload is going to be like. Software development within 5 years is my personal goal. Truly still going to be probably on the entertainment side, just because I like to talk shit publicly. Don't really give a fuck about how people feel or think about things. I just say my piece because I've been around shit and I done worked on so much. I touch too much to not have a point in a soapbox to stand on with a lot of shit. I done seen and did too much. Outside of that, just super cool energy. My wife happy, I'm happy. My homies seem to be happy. And outside of that, I don't care about shit else. We just getting shit done, sir. And I got updates to the Patreon, got updates to the social media, personal website, supergen.world. I'm gonna figure out how to slide that in here somewhere thematically and make it look good. I'll probably do it in post just for the actual video version of this. but supergen.world is the official website of everything I'm doing. That exists outside the social media shit, outside of Twitch. Supergen.world is the home for everything. Podcast is going to be the home for any things I build, dealing with computer schematics. My portfolio is going to be housed there. Obviously, music is going to be all up and throughout there. Probably going to talk to my brother about how he got his stuff set up for merch and to start kicking off a pipeline for that stuff. And yeah, man. Trying to do this sole proprietor owner thing and break generational curses. Even though I don't feel like we actually had one, because my family was on some get shit done type energy. So I'm trying to not fall into no fucking generational curse. I'm trying to break out of it at all accounts. I'm breaking out of this game that they're trying to play. And I think this is my ticket. Which is cool. Always cool. I feel hopeful. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna drop the personal side of everything. That's where we are now. Flag Planet, got work to do. Anybody that do want to assist in anything, holla at me, hit up the Patreon. Emails, open line of communication. If you got me on Messenger on Facebook, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to see the message because I have them damn things disabled. All my notifications are disabled. They're disabled. So I'm sorry if I missed a message. You got my phone number, open lines of communication. The Patreon inbox stays open lines of communication. So if you need anything, there's ways to get in contact with me where we can sit down and talk. Discord, open line of communication if you got me there. It's as simple as that. Trying to think, was there anything else I wanted to say before I end this? Oh, I officially have stopped smoking in all manners, including vape. Nicotine is like almost out of my system entirely. I think it's been a month and a week. I feel like it's been a month and a week. So I've just been chewing gum nonstop because I have like quit smoking entirely. Been interesting. But cool at the same time, I feel good. To anyone that want to stop smoking, drink more water. Start focusing on things you want to do and stop putting shit off. Because that breeds anxiety. And anxiety fucking sucks, man. Anxiety fucking sucks. And actually, that might be the name of this episode. Anxiety fucking sucks. And I'm actually gonna cut it there. So, what's up, Chief? What is taking place, my brother? How is it going? Actually, hang tight. I'm gonna cut this. I'm not stopping the stream. I'm just stopping the podcast right quick so I can cut this out smooth. That's been episode 14. Season 2 has started with this. Possibly weekly, possibly bi-weekly. We're gonna see what God allows me to do. Other than that, drink some water, have a good night, and I love you. Big peace.